Three main graphics card companies.
You're not making me interested.
There were three main graphics card companies, right? One was called Voodoo FX, and they were all about having two in line at once.
You're not saying penis softener.
Penis.
Okay guys, so I might still be in this. I just found online 12 gig of RAM. This appears to actually be DDR2 this time, so I could potentially be back into this competition. Additionally, I also got 2 dual-core processors, so now I'll have a computer that's just as powerful CPU-wise as Edwin's. The only catch is, these 2 items are expected to arrive by the due date or the day after. So there's a 50% chance that I won't be able to complete my computer in time. So, just in case this does occur, I'm gonna pimp out my shitty PC with all the extra features that I have. So that way, I still stand a good chance of not losing terribly. Unfortunately, due to severe injury, yeah, it's done bleeding. I'll have to stop there.
Of course, it was only later that Alan discovered he'd left out his power supply and had to start again.
Alright, so it's come to my attention that Alan has managed to score 2 Xeons, and both of which are dual core, and 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is significantly better than what I've got. But thankfully, with the internet being what it is, I found this great thing where if you cover those 2 points in duct tape on my CPU, it'll overclock by 600 megahertz, which should make me competitive again. So we'll see how that goes. Surely this won't work. It's so bloody ridiculous. You'd think that, I don't know, well, if it does work, Intel engineers are shit.
So Ed's done really well, so I've needed to come up with something. This is the i5 motherboard, which I bought for $25. The reason I haven't got this working is because it's currently lacking a fan for the heatsink. Fortunately, I'd bought an Acer computer for $10. Now, I've stripped the parts out of this thing, and we did find that it does have a fan. This is absolutely not the fan recommended by Dell for this motherboard, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is just take this fan, stick it on this, and then cable tie it on. 30 seconds into this build and we're running into problems. The plug for the fan is only just long enough so that the fan will have to sit at this avant-garde diagonal angle. I've nicked Ed's silver case, which he got for free and was kind of setting aside. Yeah, I'm going to try testing this now and we will see how we go. This field determines the speed of the system fan. When enabled, the system fan runs at full speed. Warning, the system fan is very loud at full speed. So yeah, this is absolutely fine. It's running about 38 now, which is good. I have no issues with this at all. This is a perfect turn of affairs. So Ed was running some preliminary tests and we thought we could smell smoke, and there was a sudden spark from the back of the machine, and Ed reckons the whole thing might be blown. Ed?
I don't know if the memory chips are shot. I don't know if the graphics cards work. I'm not going to be able to power it. I can't even power my extra hard drive. I'm going to take the sticky tape mod off because I think it's drawing too much power.
This was the CPU?
Yeah. If the graphics card still works, I'm going to take the overclock off.
And if the power supply still works?
I'm not ever plugging that power supply in again.
I mean,
it's just not going to work.
We could argue that you could just use another power supply.
I don't have one. I'd have to find one.
You can add some thermal
I mean, I
paste
think
to
I
it.
get the award for like trying the overclocks to get every bit of power out of this thing.
I mean, props. Yeah, you pulled some crazy shit to get this going. And I mean, it's a shame we weren't recording that test because it was running really well.
We're getting 140 frames.
Yeah, right until the point where it wasn't. I will comment. Mine passed the tests without exploding. So, you know, I feel like, you know, I won't say that's the most critical thing of a performance, but it's good.
Guys, guess what? I couldn't believe it. Ever since my power supply exploded, I thought I was fucked. But, luckily for me, within 2 kilometers, someone happens to be selling a 600 watt for 20 bucks. Now, I'm gonna have to go and pick it up now, but the bad thing is I've had a bit to drink, so I can't actually legally drive. So I'm gonna have to ask my brother Jasper, and hopefully he won't mind. I'm sure it'll be fine. Luckily, Jasper didn't mind.
The heavens opened and the fucking rains poured down. Our simple trip to pick up a power supply. It's like, what is it with this fucking project and lightning? Your power supply overdoses on lightning and fucking explodes, and now there's a thunderstorm as we go to pick up the next one. And I'm just sick of it. I haven't washed in 24 hours and it's raining, and I'm like, well, maybe I should just go outside, get rained on. I don't even have shoes.
Oh, so you're going to come in and haggle with the guy?
Yeah, I'll that's what I'll do. I'll go in barefoot, just say, yeah, g'day, I don't have any money, so can you just give us the power supply for nothing?
Well,
I don't own shoes.
I actually had a cunning plan. I was going to come with a 20 and say, I'm so sorry, do you have 2 10s? And I thought he'd just be, don't worry about it, and give it to me.
You are the king of dickheads.
What's the matter with that?
You ever heard of the gypsies? You're like one of those, except worse.
How am I worse than a gypsy?
That's just, gypsies don't try to cheat people out of cheap power supplies.
I'm not cheating. I would have asked, do you have any change? He would have said no, and I would have had to have said, alright, I'll be back in a
The
bit.
poor gentleman has listed his power supply for a low price. You've offered him even less money for his starving family. And they're in their house, lashed by wind and rain. And here shows up this bearded twat who hasn't shaved for far too long because he's been busy trying to cheat people out of cheap power supplies on Gumtree. And he rocks up out of this storm without the money for the power supply or food or fuel for the man's fire so he can feed his frigid family. And it's just it, you know? I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with any of this situation. And I'm driving because Ed drank beer before we came.
And they're off. It's a race to the finish, as all 3 competitors have working computers. Now all they need is to make their computers presentable. And the judging commences. Who will win, and why will it be Alan? Find out next time on the Computer Challenge.